Well, hello and welcome to the... No. What is happening here?
What is happening?
It was loud, and it was... I don't even know. That was so loud in my headphones, the opening jingle. And I think, Wilson, your ears blew off your head.
They did. I said, "Oh," and then I turned it all down, and now I can't hear you.
Oh, no. Let's see.
Okay,
I'm
there we
gonna
go.
I'm going to adjust the volume.
Okay.
Although what's happening? So apparently if you adjust the volume, it automatically plays. We're learning something every day.
Because every day is a school day.
Every day's a school day. We're getting our lesson early on. Well, we're just going to leave all this in the podcast. Why not?
Oh, great. That is
Yes.
wonderful.
To show what a well-oiled machine we are over here at the Purple Door Podcast. Let me tell you what.
We are basically professionals.
Pretty much. That's what I'm thinking. Well, welcome to the Purple Door Podcast, a Friends Rewatch pod. Professional podcasters, as you can tell. I'm Alasdair and DeeAnn, whose ears I've just blown off over there by accidentally turning the volume all the way up. Goodness me. Well, we are excited. We've got the one with the prom video. It's a big one.
It's a huge one.
It's a pivotal episode.
Extremely. And I was so excited last week whenever I realized that that's what was coming up next. I am pumped.
It's a low-key thrill in my life when I don't know what one's coming next, and then we look it up, and it's a good one.
Yes,
so I'm right there with you. Puts a smile on my face. Yeah, the one with the prom video. All right. You told me how many questions you have for me before we got on the air, but why don't you tell us again?
Okay, I only have 6, but I spent a lot of time focusing on they had the voiceover one, and so I've got like a bunch of fun facts about this episode and all of that, but I've only got 6 questions for Bamboozle.
All right, this is very unusual for me. I have 13 questions for Bamboozle.
Wow! Okay, well then you can go first.
All right, I will go first, and I'm hoping I don't have any of yours, or at least just 1 or 2 of that. All right. Joey gives Chandler some money. What 3 things does he say the money is for?
Oh, that was going to be one of my questions.
Right.
For headshots, electric bills, and more slices of pizza than he can count.
Ding, ding, ding. And I chose that question because I thought you might choose another question. But we'll see.
And I didn't. I didn't ask that one either.
Right.
My numbers question is, how many times did Roy, who is Monica's date to prom, see Star Wars and get his name in the paper?
I remember kind of hearing that and thinking I should take note, and I didn't.
300 and... Oh.
No, I was going to say 200 and something, so I'm wrong.
Go! Well, that's all right. I gave you a hint.
317.
Oh my God!
Is it? That must have been locked away somewhere. I was going to say
there
217.
You go. Yes, 317. Nice job.
Subliminally, I guess I somehow knew something. I got part of it. This one is courtesy of Kate. She gets the credit because she noticed this. This is a difficult one.
Okay.
After she's saying that some of our questions were too difficult, this is tricky. At the interview Monica goes to, what type of food is listed on the green board behind the interviewer? There's lots of different type of something. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and there's lots of things listed. It's all a certain type of food.
Is it Italian food?
It is not Italian food. It is the main part of a dish, and it's going to change every week.
Chicken.
Oh, you're getting close. I think you're going to get on your next guess. If you don't have chicken, you might have
steak, beef.
If you don't,
turkey, fish.
Fish, different kinds of fish, and seafood.
So close.
So close, you got it. I think one of them was lobster, but the rest were halibut and salmon Every day was listed.
Seafood. Okay.
Seafood. Yep, all different
There you
kinds of
go.
seafood.
All right.
All right, what have you got for me?
What color was Rachel's prom dress?
I don't have that written down, but I feel it's. I'm picturing some kind of baby blue. Blue.
Mhm.
Blue.
Mhm.
Excellent.
It
Excellent.
was. It was. Sure was.
All right.
See, okay.
Yeah. Good.
Are y'all doing the summer I turned pretty? I know Kate was
She is.
slash is.
I've not seen it. She watches it with
Okay.
Lou and some friends.
Okay. Yes. Well, it's the color of what the main character is wearing is a huge deal
Okay.
in all the TikTok things that I follow.
Very
And blue
nice.
is one of the colors that she wears, and then red is the other. And so that's
Ah,
why it was important.
very good to know. Good to know. Um, yeah, my third question for you: when Ross asks Casey on the phone how he spells his name, what are the two options that Ross says?
Casey with a C or Casey like Casey or in the Sunshine Band.
So you
Oh
definitely
no,
get
Casey at the bat. Is
that's
it
it.
like at the bat or in the Sunshine Band? Yes.
That's the one. Nicely
Uh
done.
huh. Yep. Yep. Yep.
I like it.
Because that's what I was thinking in my head is, oh, that's Casey with a C or Casey with a K. But
Right.
whatever. All right. What's the inscription on the bracelet?
Just best buds. No.
Close
Yeah. Best buds forever.
to my best bud.
To my best. I knew it wasn't quite right. I was like, there's more to it than best buds. Oh, close. All right. How many showers does Monica say it took to get the interview off of her?
5.
5 indeed.
5.
Yes.
All right. Why did Jack and Judy bring over the boxes of Monica's stuff?
That's related to my next question. Because they're turning her room into a gym.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yes,
And,
very
and,
good.
and I'm going to ask you, A, how many boxes? And B, who was carrying how many boxes?
Okay. Was Jack carrying 2 and Judy was carrying 3?
You got Jack was carrying 2,
Okay.
and Judy was.
Judy, she wasn't carrying like 3, like a normal size one and then 2 small ones?
I thought she was just carrying one box, one normal size box. Did I miss some on top?
No, maybe
No,
not.
right?
I'm not gonna swear to it.
Right.
I will not. Uh-uh.
All right, some double checking will do.
No,
Hey, I got trivia wrong 2 weeks ago. Remember, I said the dragonfly
that
had a clock.
that
So
is true. That's
I'm
true.
very aware. But yes, it's funny though. Funny that was both of our next questions, something to do with that.
Uh-huh. All right. How long have Ross and Rachel been broken up?
Okay. 3 months?
2 months.
2 months. I knew it was months. 2
Mhm.
months. 2 months. All right. We're going to go back a little bit to the old the gym situation here. What 3 types of objects prevented the Gellers from using Ross's room as the gym?
Oh no. I know there are trophies.
Science trophies, that's one.
Mhm.
And they're related. It's all in the same area.
Okay. Were there science projects?
They were not.
Was there dinosaur bones?
No, but that does bring up something interesting later on.
Okay, I have no idea.
All
I
right, yeah,
just know the trophies.
it's a bit niche. It's the science trophies, plaques, and merit badges.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
those are the
Nice.
things.
Okay. What kind of checks does Ross have?
He has dinosaur checks. You learn a little
Mhm.
something.
Yes, yes. And then I have one more. I just put in another one.
Oh, excellent. Well, I'm going to ask you, where is it? Because I want to make sure it's due to the nature of Ross's checks and the amount he wrote. What's Monica's quick nickname for him?
Cheaposaurus.
Sheeposaurus. Yes.
All right. At the very end of the episode, Monica's watching the,
The
tape,
video.
VCR. There you go. What's she eating?
Ah, is it? I feel this is not specific enough, but maybe ice cream?
Mhm.
Is it ice cream?
It is. It is.
Oh,
She's eating
excellent.
It's chocolate ice cream.
Okay, chocolate ice
Yeah.
cream. Okay, hey, there we go.
Nice. Nice.
All right. Well, I've still got 6 questions for you, which is
Oh my
fantastic.
goodness. All right.
All right. What two items does Chandler say Joey could have got him instead of the bracelet, aka the woman repeller?
Was that whenever he was going off about Liberace's house of
I
crab?
I think so. Yeah, when he's kind of venting to Phoebe.
Oh, yeah.
Two things. One, I assume he already owns, and two, I don't know why he would own them.
Oh, no. Whenever he's going off, you could have gotten me a VCR.
Yep,
You could have gotten me golf clubs.
and that's it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Chandler seems like the kind of guy, having just bought the very expensive laptop we discussed a few episodes ago, he would own a
Uh-huh.
VCR, you would think.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, maybe he was or is a golfer, but that's never seemed like, something, I don't know, something that's ever brought up that you would want to say at golf clubs.
Right.
Although now I say this out loud, am I making this up? Or is there a scene where he's practicing his swing in the living room and Rachel slams the door and the club kind of flies over his head because he told somebody that she wasn't looking for a serious relationship? Maybe he's not got a real club. And he's like, yeah, I absolutely did. I absolutely did say that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I
I just
no.
remembered like taking a backswing and she slams the door and whatever he's holding flies out of his hand.
Oh. Okay, so I know that shortly, like she's gonna it's gonna be Joey and her, and there's somebody on the set of Days of Our Lives, and she's gonna be like, I can't
Yeah.
believe you told him. I don't know.
Yes. I think it's related to that. We'll
Okay.
have to see. But anyway, we digress. We digress. I just didn't know he was a golfer. Um, according to Jack Geller, who has quite the tush.
Mm, that would be Steffi Graf.
It would be. It would be Steph. What? It's right there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's right there, right before the what home insurance commercial or home mortgage commercial or
You know,
something.
I couldn't quite catch what that was. Like I listened to it twice.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just wasn't sure what this commercial was that he loves. All right, I got four more for you. How much did Chandler spend on the replacement bracelet?
$400.
$400. Nicely done.
Thank you. Thank you.
In the throwback video, the prom
Mhm.
video, what does Monica get on Rachel's shoulder, but thankfully not her dress?
Oh, mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, yes.
Gross.
It is.
Blech.
All right. This one is obscure and very unfair, but I just noticed it, so I'm asking. When young Ross in the prom video comes out of his bedroom in the tux, there is a very large object hanging on the wall behind him.
What?
It's bigger than the door frame. What is that object?
I have no clue.
I'll give you a guess because it's something very Ross related.
Is it a dinosaur bone?
It's a pterodactyl, a model of a
Okay.
pterodactyl. About
Oh,
4
wow.
feet across, like hanging on his wall. It's all you can see. It takes up the whole wall.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm really just asking that question because I noticed it. It was very
Okay.
unfair. Now, this one, I like this question a lot without tooting my own horn. I think it's just because I do like this episode a lot. If we take away the Monica seeing the video eating ice cream credit scene, not including that, what's the final sentence said in this episode?
Is it he's her lobster?
See, he's her lobster. Yes,
There you
that's it.
go.
Well done.
Nice. Thanks.
I just that one's such a good way to end the episode. I thought,
Yes. Yes.
yes. Well,
Oh,
that was awesome. You got a lot of these right. I wish I'd actually kept
yeah.
score with this one because that was a lot of questions, and you were just knocking them out the park.
Well, like I said, I really enjoyed this episode. It's a good one, and I liked watching it, kind of combing through all the things. So I'm
Right.
excited.
Yeah. This is a good one. Um,
Yes.
and it's funny again. I know this episode pretty well, and literally looking down at my notes just now, again something has just occurred to me because we're going to start off in the boys' apartment. Um, Chandler's playing foosball, I guess, with nobody, which I think is kind of awesome.
With nobody. Okay, so I
Yeah.
was gonna ask you which team scored the goal,
I would
and
have, yeah, no
but that's
idea.
not fair. That's too hard. But it was the red team.
It was the
It
red
was the
team.
Okay, now we have had a discussion about the top of that table
Yes, we
and it
have.
being the plexiglass and all of that.
Yes.
Did you notice that there's a chair sitting at that table?
So I did notice the chair. Yes.
Yeah. So that made me wonder. I bet that it's totally doubling as
Yeah,
an an eating area.
I think
Mhm.
so. I agree. Um, yeah, I say this every week. I need to look at the decoration and the furniture a bit carefully. Um,
Oh, I have things to say about the boys' apartment though.
Good
I
because I,
sure
I
do.
noticed one thing, but I'm kind of vague on what I just know because of the episode next week. I
Mhm.
noticed something this week, which we'll get to. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say. Um,
Okay.
well, I tell what is there anything in the kitchen that you noticed was
Okay, well, and it's not
yeah?
even that. So
Okay, go for it. Let's do it now.
whenever I was listening to, they had the one of the, like, what's it called, special features or whatever. They
Mm,
had a voiceover by David Crane and then one of the girls, the head people. And
right,
so they go over it and they talk a little bit about how, like, the decor changed in the second season of the boys' apartment and the girls' apartment.
right,
And they talked about how they've added in so many things into the boys' apartment, but it's been so very specifically tailored because to really give the impression that they don't have much money. So everything's cheap and mismatched and just kind of eclectic and random. And
right.
so that was very intentional whenever they're setting it up. But they said that the second season is they've made a lot of changes, but they've finalized the layout of the apartment and all of that, and then the interior decorating is, you know, cheap
It's interesting, yeah,
basically.
because they change lots of small things all the time, but then
Yes,
also in season one, I'm sure we discussed this. The actual layout of the bathroom completely changes. Like at
yes.
one point, the shower is there, then the toilet is where the shower was, and things like that.
Mhm, mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah. I love the nuances of the stuff that changes in there, which we will discuss. We need to make a point of discussing that a lot next week because of next week's, in addition to this week, but next week furniture changes, and that's
Uh-huh.
a big part of
Oh, I
the
bet
episode.
because now Joey's making money.
Right. So things change.
Ah,
But you,
okay. Well,
yeah.
and they also talked about the interior of the girls' apartment and how
Ah,
they've switched out a bunch of the furniture and painted to make everything brighter.
okay.
And then there was something else, and I was like, oh,
And these are just
uh,
extras on the DVD.
uh-huh, yeah, where they were just talking through that. They tried to make it. Oh, and then they've also been, like, during this time, like partway through season two, they started doing like intentional things with the set and the camera to make it more cinematic and not so choppy sitcom-y, to make
Okay.
it more like a movie.
I love
So,
it. That's so
mhm,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, I love these little changes. As you alluded to, Joey is now he's making some money, and he walks in with was it $812 for Chandler?
It's sure. Yep.
Yeah. Now, a couple of things. It's literally right now. It's just occurred to me that poor old Chandler gets this money, then has to spend half of it on a bracelet he doesn't want. Uh, like the Joey sort of giveth and taketh away in this moment. Um,
Right.
so that's just occurred to me. Now, question for you. That there's quite the kind of funny joke that Big Leon says it's an even thousand if you want him for the night or something.
Mhm.
But then Chandler says, "Now I asked Kate about this. Does he say, 'Oh, now I can get that pony' or something?"
Yeah.
Is that just like because that's an expensive thing, or is there some kind of inside joke I'm missing there?
Oh, I thought it was just a
Okay,
joke, like because
yeah,
it was a bunch of money.
right. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like it was maybe just a joke, but then I know in Seinfeld there's a very famous joke about I had a pony, and I was like, am I missing a connection here? But I think it's just a joke too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Um, but then Joey does bring. Oh, good lord! I've written it down. Joey to my best bud. Could have got this in
Oh
bamboozled.
no.
All that I feel like is I like trying to do it by memory. Joey brings out the to my best bud gold bracelet, and Chandler tries to hide it in the drawer. Um, Now I'm just going to gloss over this very gently. I do think Chandler's sex life joke is very funny. It,
There's a couple of jokes that are made in this episode that
yeah,
they said was pushing some boundaries,
this is
and
pushing the
that was
boundaries.
one of them. That was one of them.
It is. I think it's a good joke. Like it's not like just a shock factor joke. Like to me, it's very funny. I like this one. Um,
Ah.
it did get me thinking. Can you think of a gift you've ever received that you had to pretend to love?
No, I have
Uh,
loved every. No, that's a lie.
that's a lie.
We're in education now.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Golly, and I can't think of. Oh my gosh! Actually, do you know what? I do have a good one. One of my
Hmm.
students, whenever I was very first teaching, and I taught middle school kids don't give teachers gifts. Like
Right.
that's just the older they are, the less that happens. I died whenever I went to elementary school. I was like, what is happening and why are these children bringing me things?
Right.
Um so I'm teaching in this a boy comes in one day and he's got a bag and he opens it up and he starts pulling out these boxes and they are limited edition in sync bobbleheads from Best Buy. And so
That's
he pulls out all five of them and he's like, Miss Walsh, these are for
mhm.
you. And I was like, well, thanks. That's awesome. And he's like, yeah, my mom works at Best Buy and so she got these. They are limited edition. And I know how much you like bobbleheads. No, I don't.
right.
And you love this kind of music. No, I didn't.
No, you don't.
Um, but I was like, thank you so much. And do you know that those NSYNC bobblehead dolls for the last 20 years have been in every single room I have ever taught in or worked in?
I have seen
Every
those
single one.
bobbleheads.
Mhm.
Yep, I've seen them.
Yep, and now I would just be devastated if something happened to them. But at the time, I was like, "What in the world am I going to do with these giant bobblehead
Right,
dolls of a band I don't even care for?"
right.
Um, yeah. So there you go.
That's
Mhm.
awesome. I love it. I love that I've seen those and didn't know the
Mhm.
story behind them. I assumed you liked
Yep.
it. You liked them.
No, not
No,
at all.
no. That's
No. And I was working at that school whenever I met Joseph. And
right.
that was one of the things he would tease me about. He would come in my room whenever I was out of my room
Hmm.
and he would move them around my room. And then he would call them my Backstreet Boy dolls. And one day, whenever I came in, he had cut out pictures like the faces of all the Backstreet Boy dolls or
Right.
Backstreet Boy guys and taped them on my bobbleheads and then had them facing out my window. So whenever I went to go move them, they were Backstreet Boy dolls. And
I
so
love
I
this
still
so
have
much.
I still have three of those faces like taped on the bottom, and they have their very own shelf in my office now.
That's kind of perfect.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
me very happy.
And when you retire, they're going to have to move into a box in your house or something. You won't be able to
That's
get rid of them.
something. No,
Yeah,
not at all. They'll get their own shelf somewhere in this house.
that is perfect. I love it.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. What about you, Al? I need to hear a good, oh goodness, gift.
I'm going to have to think about it. The only thing I can think of, and this isn't anywhere near the Backstreet Boys story, is I had an awesome student who was from, or is from Thailand, and he used to bring in exotic snacks for his mid morning snack in third grade,
Okay.
and he would always offer them to me, always. And A, I'm not going to eat a kid's snack. B, I'm not going to eat a snack that's been half opened and already half,
Yeah,
icky
had
fingers all
little
over.
fingers.
For multiple reasons, I'm not going to eat the snack. But I also don't want to make him feel bad. So I would always go, oh, that looks really interesting, but no, thank you. I can't eat your snack. But, that's, I'd divert it away to being interested in the snacks. And one of the snacks, now I'm sure some people love this, was just dried seaweed,
Mhm.
right? Not my favorite thing in the world. But I think I oversold it. I was like, oh, I'd love some, but I can't. So, next time he went down to Carrollton, suburb of Dallas, where he told me he goes to the Asian market, he brought back, I wouldn't say a case, but a lot. There was a lot of dried seaweed on my desk the
Mhm.
next day, and he would ask me when they had their snack, "What are you going to eat yours? Are you going to eat yours?" So I would, yeah, it was very sweet. So for quite a long
Oh.
time, I had to nibble on some dried seaweed that was not my favorite thing in the world, but I'm sure it's good for you. You can't go
Uh,
wrong.
it's a thing now. Like we
Yeah.
see that all over the
hmm
cafeteria now. Interesting.
He was ahead of his time.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, a good kid. We will discuss this off the air because you might know who it was. It was
Okay.
at school, the school
Mhm.
we worked at together for a bit. So we'll see. Um, but speaking of seaweed, this is a terrible segue. We're going to a restaurant where Monica's making a salad. Right? She's got
Yes.
her interview now. I love this scene because this character, whose name has suddenly gone out of my head, is Noel from Frasier, who plays a
Yes.
you know
Okay. I was gonna say his name is Patrick Kerr, and the
Patrick
reason
Carpos.
that he has this job, they had an entire storyline planned out for Monica with him. But
Really?
then the way that they would do it is they'd come up with all these lines and storylines and jokes and things like that. And then whenever they'd go to put the episode together, they would look at like how many stories, how many all that to try to make sure that it was equal between all of the cast people. And
Right.
so Patrick Kerr actually had like it was a bigger, longer storyline, but they ended up changing it because they didn't need that big of a storyline with Monica in this episode. But they still did the scene, and he agreed to go and like cut it from a storyline to a scene. And he was friends with Matt LeBlanc because they had
Ah,
done the movie Ed together about the monkey playing baseball. I remember the previews
really?
for that.
I didn't know about the movie. She
Yeah.
or he Noel is he plays I wouldn't say creepy. Kind of he's not sure where his boundaries are with women
Okay.
in Frasier because he's just super nerdy, super into Star Trek, so sometimes says kind of inappropriate things because he doesn't really know. He's a bit like this character, just kind of
Okay.
oogie and creepy, but not necessarily in a malicious, horrible way. Just oogie.
Yeah.
Not quite sure what the word is. Um,
Oogie is probably a very accurate description.
yeah, like
Um,
yeah,
whenever I pulled him up and I was looking at, and I saw he's like in 22 episodes of Frasier.
right,
And I was like, I bet Owl will know who this
yeah.
is.
He's
hmm
there's one of my favorite all-time Frasier scenes. Like he loves Roz, played by Perry Gilpin. Like he's just got this longing affection for her. And there's one episode where the character Bulldog, who's played by Dan Butler, kind of is roasting Roz because she's leaving the radio station, and he just loses his ever-loving mind because he cannot stand the woman he loves being roasted. And it's just one of those the physical comedy. It's one of my favorite scenes of all time.
How cute.
Yeah, he's a really. I'd like to see him in other roles, which I'm sure he's done tremendously.
Well,
Because
he's
these,
done a lot.
yeah, he's just tremendous. Is old Noel. I don't really know what cutting the tomatoes julienne is. I could have looked it up, but I haven't. Because
Yeah,
it's not.
it's.
Yeah.
I think it's the little, like wedge things, isn't it?
Okay, it
Maybe
might well be.
I
Just
might be lying. Who knows?
yeah, it sounds good to me. I'm on board.
hmm
We just know it's not strictly slicing.
hmm
Um, but yeah, it's funny you bring that because I did think I was like, man, I could have done with a bit more of that. Like I could see that being a strong subplot to the prom video. But then again, the prom video isn't really, even though that's like the big moment. We don't find out about this video till right at the end. Um,
hmm
so I would have liked to have seen more of that. It's a shame it didn't play out, but this is a great episode. The way they did it. We go over to the girls' apartment. Ross is taking this message from Casey. Um, and then Chandler and Phoebe are in the living room. Um, is it Chandler that does that? The whole sort of, let's do a little dance. Sort of
Yeah.
recites the lines from that song. Um,
hmm
and yeah, Ross is frustrated that he and Rachel are just not together. Um, I try to be very diplomatic with Ross. It can be hard at times. Um, but I guess he does genuinely, some genuine frustration. But Phoebe's like, "Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about you're each other's lobster." I did a little looking into this, and it's not. It's
I did.
you did too. It's not strictly true, but
No.
they said that the thing I read was like, they do hold. You will see them holding, but it's more of just a social thing. Older lobsters and young lobsters, like guiding them around the tank or something. Or the ocean, I suppose. It's more of that rather than they are monogamous for life once they find their lobster.
Yeah. It's sweet
Yes.
though. I was a little
I
disappointed. I feel like maybe I've looked that up before and then I forgot.
yeah,
So my
yeah.
hope is that I will forget again.
Life is just a little sweeter when we think the lobsters walk around holding their
Mhm.
sweetheart's claw and just wander around the ocean floor.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, yep. Everything's a little brighter. I like it.
Yeah.
Um, this is where Monica comes out of the bathroom having to, that fifth shower washed off, Um,
Yes.
and, Ross offers to lend Monica money and she won't. So I do quite like Ross's bit here about, you're awkward around them anyway or whatever it is.
Yes.
Might as well make
Yes.
a little money.
Exactly. Yes, and
Yeah.
then comes the best part. Whenever he flings his arm out and the bracelet falls
Yes.
off, and all of the beautiful one-liners that come out.
The Goodfellas one is one of my favorites.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, and I like the one. Wow, that must have cost you a few doubloons. It's like, oh my gosh. And
It's
then like
so
a
good.
Gabor's sister.
It's
And like, oh, it's so funny. Yeah. It's I love all the jokes about the bracelet throughout the entire episode.
I do. And I
So
love that.
good.
I think we all either have or desire that group of friends in our life where if you do something that's potentially embarrassing or silly or make a mistake, and they just roast you immediately with great
Yes.
gags. I think we all need people like that in our lives.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
it's a love language thing. I think when you can do that with people. Um, we sort of change scenes, but still in the girls' apartment. Jack and Judy come on over with maybe 3 boxes, maybe 5. We'll go back and have a look. Um, and talking about turning Ross's room into a gym. Now,
Monica's room into a gym.
Monica's room, and again, it's one of the many reasons I love doing this podcast with you. Is now I'm thinking through. We do see the gym, right? Don't we see Phoebe on it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it just occurred to me. So that gym story does. I can't remember what episode that is or why Phoebe is at the Geller's house. Um,
Yeah, I don't know.
maybe she's catering or something. You know, because they do a bit
Oh.
of that, but I don't.
Uh-huh.
Is it? Is
It
that
is,
it?
isn't it? Is that whenever she meets Richard, or whenever they find out about Richard?
Could
Um
be. Could be.
Whenever she's dating Richard and then her parents find
Yeah.
out?
Yeah, it could be because she's the Twinkie in the city. As
Yeah,
they tell
yes she
yes,
is.
yes,
Nice.
yeah. And we'll talk about this a little later. I like the Gellers. I like Jack in particular. I like that he's so to me he's so well meaning and kind of not goofy, but he puts his foot in it accidentally quite a bit and then tries to work his way out. Like sorry to hear about your parents. Maybe it was that thing in Hawaii.
Yes.
And then just but somebody else. Maybe it was me.
Yeah, I don't know. Anybody else? Go fold your laundry.
Right.
Yeah. They on the I don't commentary. I don't know what
Yeah.
to call it, but like where they're talking over it, they talk about how great he is as an
Yeah.
actor and just what a great character Jack is because
Yeah.
but part of it is because he's just dim. He's kind of dim.
He's
Yeah.
dim but lovable, and like we don't
Uh-huh.
see him that much in the grand scheme of things. But we will when Monica is it when she breaks up with Richard and he comes over and just
Yes.
like he just adores them. He adores her. He's so proud of Ross. But you can tell we
Yeah,
did
his
discuss this.
little
That's right.
harmonica.
His harmonica.
Whenever Nana died, and then they
Yep.
were there together, and oh yeah,
And he
and
kind of
he's gonna
sticks
give her
up.
the Porsche,
Yep.
and yeah,
He sticks
he
up for
does.
Monica when Judy's a little meaner. I feel I don't means maybe too strong, but a little more critical.
Yeah,
She's not the
yeah,
nicest, loving. Whereas Jack is, I think, kind of ignores that. He doesn't make a big deal, but he lets Monica know that the apple of his eye, and I just,
hmm
I love it. I love it. Now, speaking of things I don't necessarily love, in the next, I may be jumping too far ahead, so of course, tell me if my notes if I've missed something. Phoebe has spotted this woman checking out Chandler,
yes. Well, this is the other joke that was pushing the lines,
right?
and that because she uses a word
Yes,
that you were not allowed to use for like 3 or 4 years, and apparently you weren't allowed, and then you were allowed, and then you weren't allowed again for like 3 or 4 years. And
it
they said
jumped
they
out
don't
at
know
me.
why, and then that ban went away, and they don't know why, like why it was
Interesting.
going back and forth. But um,
I wonder if
yeah.
when it was replayed on the television during the ban, if they kind of muted that word out or changed it.
Oh, that's
I
a good
wonder.
question.
Yeah,
Uh huh. Yeah,
because again, it
but
jumped out as me as that's jarring for the context of Friends. For those who didn't watch it, just an appendage, a biological term, nothing crass, but it stands out. Um, because that's just not the language they use on the show.
right,
Um,
absolutely.
now she says 11 o'clock. What bugged me first of all was the way that they were facing. Is it
That's
12 o'clock ahead of you? So that would be like 5 or 6 o'clock if it's behind you.
right. Well, but if she was facing her, that would be 11 o'clock. But to so really, it should have been what 12, 6, 5.
I would have thought 5 o'clock, but I might not be
Okay,
thinking about this the correct way. I'm just
yeah,
thinking about
because
it.
she's
Chandler's,
not
yeah,
facing the right way for it to have been 11.
yeah. To me, 12 o'clock is straight ahead of you wherever you're looking, and then 6 o'clock would be directly behind you. But
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it would have made sense for 11 o'clock if she was sitting directly across from him. Then that would be
Ah,
her 11 o'clock, but she
yes.
wasn't. That's
Yeah, I
not
see what
where
you're
she
saying.
was. That's not where she
Yeah.
was.
When Chandler
So
goes over, I do like his kind of open. You know that. You know what do you think? Dave. What's his name? Dave. Dave
Dave
Thomas.
Thomas, the founder of Wendy's.
Yes. I like that's a good opening line. Like I like that. That's a I'd like to think if I was
Yes.
in that. That's he's not coming off in a weird way.
No, that's
I
so
don't like this
funny.
lady. I don't like this lady. All he has on is a gold bracelet, and you're not willing to find out like a little more about this guy. You obviously think he's attractive, and you think he's got something about him.
Yeah, but
Uh,
it's New York in the 90s. You
right.
gotta, I mean, if there's a red flag, that's a waving in your face.
That's
Like,
the flag.
you're not gonna waste your time trying to see
That's
why,
fair.
what's the story behind this red flag?
Right.
You
That's
know?
fair enough. He's just living in Manhattan. Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, just time
So
to
I
go.
don't judge her for that.
Right. I see your point. I do see your point there. Um, let's see. But after she leaves, right? Is that after she leaves, Chandler vents to Phoebe, and then
God,
Joey ends up.
and this was so funny though. Because yeah, he starts off the woman repellent, the eyesore from
Yes.
Liberace's house of crap, and then
Yes.
he's doing his Mr. T impression
A
whenever
pitiful fool.
Joey walks in.
Yes. I will. The next scene, right? We get into this a bit more. I do feel bad for Joey because that's like embarrassing. It's not that just Chandler doesn't like it; it's the way he's kind of mocking it.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I
Okay.
I I feel bad for him.
When Marcel Marceau comes up twice in this episode, and this is the first time
That's right.
because
Where he
he's
has
like,
some impression.
because he says I'm doing the impressions. Do your Marcel Marceau. Do you know who Marcel Marceau is?
I know he's a famous mime.
I
No.
didn't know that, so
Ah,
it made me laugh whenever I found that
right.
out, and then I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Whenever he goes, "That's actually pretty good."
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah. From like a long time ago, right? Like maybe 100 years
hmm
ago. Yeah. Like
Yeah, yeah. He
yeah.
is French.
Yes. Yeah, and he kind of does the whole like hands on the glass thing in my head. I don't know if he actually does. Um, I feel like I've maybe seen a clip or something. Or I don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah, I really feel for Joey. It's about two scenes. Time we'll get into that. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think now. I'm thinking, where do I know Marcel Marceau from? I've just seen a clip, I suppose.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I have no idea, but I'm
yeah,
very impressed that you know that because he's a
yeah,
French mime from a
a
really
French
long time
mime.
ago.
Um,
Random.
we're still at Central Park, but we've kind of moved into a new scene.
Uh huh.
Again, I think I know where. I was going to ask you a question. I think I know the answer to. Basically, talk me through this. But Rachel's flirting with a guy, and Ross comes and saves her. I
Yeah.
know my view on
Oh
this. What do you think?
man. Okay. I don't know. I thought, and the first time that I watched it, I was like, ugh, he's so annoying. What a dork. And all of that. But then the second time I watched it, I actually listened to what he was saying to Phoebe. And
Hmm.
I genuinely think that he was trying to rescue her from some guy that would not leave and was too close, you know? And
Okay.
so the first time I watched it, I was like, "Oh God!" But then the second time, I was like, I think he actually thought he was doing a good thing."
And it is we don't want to sort of stereotype. It is New York, and maybe there's something like maybe this guy was just being a little forward and something.
Right.
I don't know. All right, I'm holding on to the arms of my chair so I don't fall out because I'm not happy with Ross, and you're defending him. So
But
this is a good situation. I like it.
and okay, so in the commentary about this scene,
Yeah.
she's like, I will kind of get through it, but she started off and the she was saying he's inappropriate and he's overbearing, but you're rooting for him because like you see that, or you kind of feel that he's genuinely trying to do right by her. And
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I guess
I
he's
get.
still bleh, but
But in this moment, and I mean, his
yeah,
heart is in the right place. He
yeah.
adores Rachel. Um,
Mhm.
okay. I do enjoy seeing that because I don't remember exactly what he said to Phoebe. So obviously that's important.
Oh, well, and
Yeah.
he's like, God, that guy's been standing there talking to her, and she's at work, and all of that. And then he's like, see, like she pushed him, and he didn't even budge. Well, she didn't push him. She was probably laughing and like
Right.
playfully, you know. But what he sees is like, her trying to push him away, and he's not taking the hint. And
Right.
then I was like, come on, man.
Come on.
But
Yeah.
right, but I think he genuinely thought that. So,
Yeah. No,
mhm.
I'm coming around to it. I can see that. Um,
Yep.
Something I'm not coming around to. Again, an awful segue in the next scene. Did you notice what Joey is wearing?
Okay, but wait.
Oh, there's
Go
more.
back. We're not done with this.
Oh, of course we're not. I didn't write it down, but they go to the counter. That's right.
Yeah, because then he
Yes.
goes up and he does the whole thing about how she's from the ad and just kind of gets, yeah,
Yes.
and it's all awkward, and then he leaves and
Yes.
she's mad. And so she walks over to the counter, so he follows her over there, and then she's like, he's like, I was saving you, and I'm not yours to save. And he's
Yeah.
like, but you are. You're my lobster. And then he starts like being all dorky, and she's like, whatever. And
That's
so
right.
she walks off, and he follows her. And then she's like, you got to figure it out. I fell for you, and I get clobbered. And then you fall for me, and somehow I still get clobbered. So we're never going to happen. You need it. Or she goes, accept that. And then she stops, and he's like, accept what? And she's like, no, 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 no. Accept.
That's Kate loves that line. That
Mm.
that interaction. She's like, that
I
was
did.
clever.
Yeah.
Like that was well done.
Oh, so well done, but heartbreaking at the same time.
It
I
is.
mean,
It is.
ugh.
And it was the thing that struck me was that I don't think Rachel was out of line at all.
No.
Let make that clear. But it probably her reaction is probably due to that. Again, the Barry thing. Everything was done for her. Decisions were made,
Mhm.
and she's broken free. So Ross, to me, would have that could have come across as like her old life. Yeah,
Ah,
so and
good
so she's
call.
so she's going to have an appropriate reaction to that of no, I've left that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not going to be controlled. I'm not going to be told who I can see or not see.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I'm glad
yeah.
that you love that accept because that stood out to Kate this morning when we watched it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It was good. It was good and heartbreaking, and
it is
just, and then it's making me root for him again, which is so annoying.
right. You hate it when you like him, you
I
know.
hate that.
You do because you do see it. I feel that he doesn't always communicate very well. Like sometimes he's just a jerk. He does love her, and you can see it at this point. Like he just wants to be with her. Um, so yeah, they're kind of Rachel has drawn a line in the sand. Like it's just not happening. Um, and we go over to one of my favorite scenes where Chandler's trying to make things up to Joey. Did you notice what Joey was wearing?
Was he wearing a coat?
He was wearing the oversized, ugly coat that he's worn for the past couple of episodes, like at the wedding.
Oh, that
You
brown
know,
thing.
yeah, the one that we just.
Girl.
He's
Yeah,
still
don't let
wearing it,
that go. Don't let that go. That's a terrible jacket.
right? Yeah, yeah. Kate has officially declared herself as the head of Jacket Watch. She's going to look out for that from now
Ah,
on.
awesome.
Just so you know, so that's our official role on the podcast now. Um,
Excellent. Excellent.
Now,
Okay.
who do you think's in the right here? Do you side with either of them? Are they both kind of right, both kind of wrong? To be like for Joey to be upset, was Chandler out of line? Where do you where do you land on this?
Man, Joey's got a point. If you hated it, you should have just said so. But I understand Chandler not wanting to hurt his feelings.
I'm
You
right
know,
there with you, and that's why I asked.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
To me, the big issue was that Chandler was making fun of him, and Joey kind of brings that up. Like, you made fun of it, to Phoebe.
Mhm.
He doesn't say to Phoebe, but that's when he did it. And that, I think that would hurt my feelings. Like, if I got Kate a gift and she didn't like it, I'm not gonna hit a home run every time. I'm okay with that. But I think if she said she loved it, and then I walked in and she was telling you that it came from the Liberace House of Crap, that would hurt my feelings.
Right, right.
To me, Joey is perfectly reasonable to be very upset with how Chandler handled himself not liking it.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think. But on the other hand, if I was Chandler, I would have probably told Joey I liked it too, because he's doing such a nice thing. So
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
tricky situation.
It is.
Um, we're over back in the girls' apartment. Monica ends up telling her parents that she got fired. Although she says, "Yeah, I don't work there anymore because they won't let me," or
Yeah,
something.
no.
What'd she
Yeah,
do?
I don't work there anymore. She goes, yeah, why not? Because they told. What'd she say? I left my
Yeah,
job, or why? Well, because they told me I had to. Something
something like
like
that.
that.
Yeah,
It was funny. Mhm.
yeah. And again, Jack tries to help out. He assumes that everyone's able to save 10%. It's no problem. I'm
Mhm.
going to safely assume that Monica has not been doing that. Um,
Yeah.
I get it. And then he, pulls out, was it a quarter or a penny or something? I don't know, from behind her ear. Again, sweet Jack. Like he's, you know, um, I don't know. Do you think, I was trying to think about this. Do you think she didn't borrow money from them and then from Ross? Or she borrowed some, but she couldn't bring herself to say how much she needed?
I took it that she didn't borrow anything because she couldn't tell them she hadn't been saving money.
That's what I was thinking too. That's kind of the way I went with it. Um, let's see. We go back to Central Park. Chandler and Phoebe walk in, and he's just bought this $400 replacement bracelet. Because obviously he feels awful about what's happened, how he lost the bracelet. Um, we kind of, yeah, that's my fault. We kind of skipped over that a bit with Chandler being on his knees. Um,
Oh yeah,
right?
with the couch cushions because he had lost the bracelet and he was looking
Yes.
for it. Mhm.
And again, I was looking at the furniture, which again we will change next week. But the man, some just mismatched. The commentary
Yeah.
is really interesting because it just looks so out of place and so weird
Mhm.
in the background there. Um, Sorry, yeah, I got off track. My notes were not great for this one at all. But Chandler and Phoebe walk into Central Park. He's got the replacement bracelet, $400. But then I like it when Rachel pops up from behind the counter.
Yes, and
Uh,
he jumps. Okay, and
yeah.
they said that that whole part, the line with the bracelet and everything, it took Matthew Perry 40 takes to get the line right.
Really?
And I was like, weird. I wonder why it took that long. But it
Right.
was, yeah, I can't remember like what the exact line was, but it's whenever he's standing, she pops up and he like jumps and then
Yeah.
he says whatever he says, but it took 40 takes.
That's unbelievable. I wonder if we can
Mhm.
find the outtakes online of that. Um, Now, two things in this. First of all, Kate noticed again, Joey comes in with the big black overcoat on, but he has the oversized, ugly suit jacket we discussed on underneath. You can see it
Okay.
peeking through. Um, there's we'll never know if this is true or not. But in the background, one of the extras, the guy who's sitting directly behind Chandler, or Chandler's standing. So that kind of the high top table, almost where Chandler met the girl. There's a
Yeah.
guy sitting there, and it looks exactly like Rachel's boss from the final season, except this guy has jet black hair, almost like a toupee. Um,
Huh.
The guy who Ross ends up interacting with because he has a son called Ross and he thinks that Ross's name is
Yeah,
Ron. That guy.
yeah.
To me, it looks exactly like him, except he's got a thick head of black hair.
Okay,
It almost looks fake, but it might just be the fact that it's 10 years. 10 years different, but
that'll do.
that'll do it to all of us.
For
But
me, about 6 weeks.
about 6 weeks, it's not listed anywhere. But to me, they look like the same guy.
Interesting.
Yeah, it just
Interesting.
jumped out at me. I was like, I swear that's him, but I haven't dug into it. But I assume that there isn't a list of all the extras anywhere. Um, Now let's see. Back in the girls' apartment, Ross is lending Monica the money with his dinosaur checks.
Yeah.
You ever had any novelty checks? Like
Oh
anything
yeah.
fun? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love my Disney checks with the Disney couples or the Disney whatever. They're so cute and fun. But I haven't had to order checks probably in about 15 years.
I'm trying to think when I last wrote a check. Um, I don't know. Macy, right? She rents her home and writes a check every month,
Yeah.
um, and drops it off. Her landlord prefers it, and it saves her like electronic fees or something. So she writes
Mhm.
one every month. Because like I've still got some checkbooks, but they're the same ones I've
Yeah.
had for. You know what? I don't anymore because my bank has been bought and sold several times, and they
Oh
told me,
dang.
and they did tell me when they sold themselves or changed the name or whatever it was, your checks will still be good for a year, even though it's got your old account number and old bank name. When this happens, you have 12 months to use these checks. And
Mhm.
but when was the last time any of us wrote a check? So
Well, I always so there's fundraisers, right? Like
right.
fundraisers whenever the kids are selling poinsettias or Tupperware or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That so I'll write one or two checks a year for different fundraisers, and
Right.
that's why
That's
my two or three checkbooks last 15 years.
That's it. Kate's kind of in charge of all the sort of school expenses and like things like that. So she's probably written more than I have. I would dare
Yeah,
say. I dare say she's written a couple in the last year, probably for things
like
like
that.
that. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I do like Ross's little line of what does he say? Something like they're fun and you learn a little something.
Yes.
Like he's doing a
Uh huh.
community service almost, like putting some
Uh huh.
knowledge out in the world. Um, I think I know it's in there for the cheap gag. Why would they save Monica's big bathing suit? In
Yeah.
that, but like to me, that's almost like I put myself in Monica's position, and if I was her parents, I wouldn't send over something that would remind her necessarily of she's let's just say she's overcome obesity. She obviously had an issue. She says that, and she's overcome it. She's done incredibly well. Why would you do that?
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know. That's assuming that they did anything other than just go through a room and throw everything in boxes.
that's true. Maybe there was
I mean,
no thought.
because I would like to think that they would have been more careful about throwing the DV or the VHS tape in there. I mean, seeing how it ended.
This is true. That's
Um,
a very good point.
if they were really paying attention to what they were doing and thinking it through,
Yeah.
that wouldn't have made it in there. It would have made for a very boring episode. But
Right?
yeah, but it would have, you know, I don't know that everybody thinks that way,
That's a
you
very
know.
good point. Especially if they're just kind of clearing the room out, threw everything in.
Right, because they got to
Um,
get their gym set up.
yeah. Now, before we get into the video, um, and I've mentioned this several times, but I'm just going to throw it out there again. If anyone ever has the opportunity of doing the Warner Brothers set tour, and you get to go into this house. You go into Jack and Judy's house on the tour, and you can walk up a few of the stairs that Ross is sitting on. Um, of
And
course, it
trips
looks
up whenever he goes up.
yes, like where he's sitting playing the keyboard and all of that. So
Yeah.
you do go in that house on the tour. Um, So it is, Kate and I were both, we've been on those stairs like a couple of nerds when we're watching it, we're
I
just,
love it.
like kind of just geeking out about it, which I thought was just fantastic. Um, but yeah, talk us through the video, this pivotal, crucial to the entire series video.
Okay, so, but I want to talk about the video before we get into it because the way that they
Okay,
filmed it, they knew that they were going to be cutting in and like being in the or in the apartment with the gang watching the video. And
right.
so every scene that they filmed, they did a swish pan. And if I was really smart, I'd probably tell you what it is. But they filmed it like all big one thing, and then they went through, and it was like, okay, and then this is where we're going to insert them talking. And then this
Okay,
is where they're going to insert, the actual like what's happening now. And then
right,
the way that they did made it appear, like it was a home video. They had the cameraman doing it and everything, and then I can't remember the guy's name, but it was the guy who did Spinal Tap, the video. And
okay,
so he did that, and they like changed the color to make it like lower quality and
right.
all of that. So that was pretty cool, I thought.
That's.
And
I did wonder about that if they just got an old camcorder, quite what they did.
yeah, no, they very intentionally did it. And so, like, the part at the end, whenever, not at the end, but whenever Jack and Judy trade places and Judy goes behind the
Yes,
camera, that obviously didn't really happen. The guy that was holding the camera just shook it and then made it
very
look like
clever.
that. And, but they said that one of the big, I don't know, like one of the things was as they were filming the scene, and the audience, they had the live audience there watching and watching the gang watch the video. She
Right.
said there were 300 people in the audience and it was completely silent during this
I
whole
love that.
exchange. Uh-huh. They said that they felt like the whole audience was right where Rachel was, like what in the world. Okay, but yeah, so it starts off and Rachel comes in and they all laugh and then Chandler makes the comment about because they had talked about how they used Monica's bathing suit as a cover for
Yes.
Connecticut whenever it rains. Well,
Yes.
then he makes the comment about her nose. And she's like, oh, I have a new nose because they had to reduce it because my deviated septum.
Right.
And so then that's whenever Monica's like, "Oh, this is us getting ready for prom." And then Ross realizes what they're watching and he's like, "We don't need to watch it." And then Monica's on the screen and she comes out eating the sandwich. And is it I think it's Ross or I mean Chandler that's making the comment about, "Oh, that girl ate Monica." It,
Yes.
and all of that, and so the camera adds 10 pounds. How many cameras were there, and all
Yeah.
that, and then they go and they're in there, and they pan over to Ross, who's leaning up against the thing, and with his mustache and his hair, and on the commentary, they were like, if you could imagine the worst hairstyle from then, there it
Right.
is. And it cuts back to the living room and Joey's like, "Hey, Mr. Cotter," from
Yes.
Welcome Back, Cotter. Yeah. And it's so funny, and it was so in style and right on, but so awful.
Yeah,
Well
David
then,
Schwimmer pulls that off perfectly. It's kind of the lean and the look as well.
oh
Like,
yeah, because he's
just,
like, "I'm so cool," and he's
yeah.
looking at her, and so then it cuts over to Ross and Rachel, and he's asking her, or she asks him like, "What are you gonna do this summer?" And this is whenever we first find out, really, I think, that Ross is into music.
So I did wonder about that because then Chandler says something
Mhm.
like, "Oh, your music really?" but they're in a
Uh,
band, but maybe they're not at this point. But they're both
no,
in, yeah,
because this is his first. Like he just graduated. I think this is his first year, right?
well, it's you bring that up, and I wasn't sure even how many years are between Monica and Ross. We know
Yeah,
Ross is older, but is it a year, 2 years, three? Like I don't know.
I don't know either, but I
Yeah,
just assumed it was.
yeah,
Um, so then her big puffy beautiful sleeves that
yes,
I would have my Barbie doll had sleeves like that on her
right,
prom dress, and so Ross starts fixing her dress for her and everything, and you see Ross just kind of mesmerized, right? And it looks like almost he's smelling her. It's weird.
right. Yeah, that yeah, it
Just for
gets
a
a
second.
little yeah,
Like calm down, man.
right,
And then that's whenever the Roy, yeah,
right,
Roy
yeah.
shows up, and then he comes in, and then they're all kind of whatever, and then it's like I wonder where Chip is, and then it cuts back, and Rachel's crying because Chip's not coming, and Chip's not there, and she's all
That's
sad.
right.
And so the mom, Judy, says to Ross, "You should go, and you should." And like whenever Roy very first shows up, that's whenever Ross is sitting there on the stairs playing the music and everything, and just
Yes,
being.
just being
Yeah. And so so then she's like, Jack, talk to your son. So they switch, and that's whenever they do the camera thing,
right.
where he just shakes it and makes it look like Judy and Jack had traded places. And he talks to him. Did you notice that Jack's wearing two shirts?
I did not notice that.
He's got two collars. He's got a green collar and a blue collar, and it's so weird, and I don't know what that's all about. Um,
That is
yeah,
odd. Yeah.
I yeah, I don't know. So then Ross goes to run up the stairs and he falls. And it's so
Yes,
funny,
I do
right?
love
It's
that trip.
that physical comedy of that David Schwimmer has.
Yes.
And yes, and then uh uh and then Ross is now like he's standing over by the door, and then it pans, and then I guess in the background there's a giant pterodactyl. Is that
There
right?
is indeed. There is indeed.
And
Yep.
he comes out. He's wearing Jack's tux because
Yes.
right before Jack told him, "You wear my tux. Go on." And so he comes, and then he's up there at the top of the stairs, and he grabs the flowers.
The
Like, we're
flowers.
gonna
Yeah.
make it work. We're gonna make it work. And and Jack goes down the stairs all fast, and he stops,
Yeah.
and uh, then he's like, "Rachel, it's your knight in shining." Oh,
Oh.
oh, and he sees what has happened, and then they all leave, and good old Chip showed up, and off they go,
Chip on the
and
chipper. Yeah.
yeah, and then it looks back at Ross, and you just see it on his face. And then she's like,
Yeah.
"How do you turn this off?" And it was so
It's
sweet.
it's so sweet, and the back in the girl's apartment, the way Ross is
Yeah.
like almost leaning on the door, like it's physically painful for him.
Oh
To
yeah,
be
and
like, oh
I don't doubt that it is because he
yeah,
tried. He tried on more than one occasion to not to
right,
just not have that show because he knew what was coming,
yeah,
you know? Uh and then, Rachel stands up and just walks straight to him, and nothing said.
yeah,
And then she kisses him, and then everybody, and it made my heart happy because it's like everybody that was sitting there in that living room. Well, Monica's like, "I didn't know you did that." And
right. Oh,
but everybody's sitting there, and and they're just all so happy, and then Phoebe says, "See, he's her lobster.
I love it.
And,
I
and it
love
was
it
so
so much.
sweet. So
And
sweet.
just
Such a
now, if
good.
I think about this scene and what you just said about what was it, 300 people in the audience and how silent, and then they all just
Yes.
erupt,
Yes.
in that cheering.
Yes.
Um, that's I love it. It's so well done.
Mhm.
It, kind of breaks my heart for Ross, but I love the acting of how painful it is, and he doesn't want to watch, and the way he's leaning against the door. Um, it's just so well done. Um, I think
Yeah.
just a great way to sort of introduce Ross and Rachel. They're not a
Again.
couple, but yeah, to bring them back to this, I think it's so well done. And
Well, and that. Oh,
no, no,
sorry.
no, you're fine. Go ahead, go ahead.
That was something else that they talked about on the commentary was about just the Ross and Rachel dynamic and how powerful it was. Like they're, everybody's silent for that whole scene. And
Right,
then they're just like, yes, thank goodness. But they even flash forwarded to like season 8. Was it 8,
right,
I think? Whenever they have Joey and Rachel together, and then
yeah,
people started to get invested in that. And then they pulled back and they were told, there's no way. There's no way you can get everybody back on the Ross and Rachel train. They said it took 3 to 4 episodes, and then everybody's attitude was right back there with it. And I feel like it's because starting at the very beginning, they give you and then they take it away, and then they give you more backstory,
yeah.
and and it's just it's good. It's good storytelling, is what it is.
It really
Yeah.
is, and I love the fact that the prom video thing, the video itself wasn't dangled in front of us as viewers for the whole episode. Like it
Yeah.
was just, I mean, it doesn't get mentioned until 4 minutes from the end, maybe I don't know, and
Yeah.
yet it's one of the most iconic, powerful things to happen in the whole show.
Yes.
So I think
Yeah.
it's so well done. Before we kind of move on to other things, I love this commentary stuff. Was there any other stuff? I want to make sure we don't miss any.
Yeah,
Um,
no, that was the last little thing, I guess. They talk about in that very last scene about Monica and how. Oh, you know what? One thing that they did
mhm.
talk about that I thought was very interesting was how when this was the first episode where Monica's in the fat suit,
Yes,
and they were just commenting on how joyful she is while she's in it.
she loves the fat suit. Courtney
Yeah,
Cox loves it.
yeah. And they talked about that and how well, they she plays that and how much she enjoys it.
Yeah, I read a thing once that Matthew Perry didn't recognize her on the set when she walked out in it,
Yeah.
and like walked right past her, which I hope is true because that would be really funny if it's true. Well, I'm going to tell you that I went down a little rabbit hole as well. I kind of got thinking about this, and I googled it quickly, and other people have clearly done the same thing. So Jack Geller brings up, sorry to hear about your parents, and we know that Monica and Rachel were obviously friends in high school. We never see Rachel's parents and Ross and Monica's parents together in any
Yeah.
scene, which it didn't occur to me until I was thinking, do we? And then we don't. Like,
Not even in season 10.
I don't believe so. I don't think we ever see them together. Now, again,
Okay.
if I'm wrong, I know when I googled it, other people said we don't see them together, but we'll
Okay.
see.
Okay.
Because we don't see Rachel's dad and mum too much. Just generally speaking, we see
Right.
mum more than dad.
Well, and I remember though, whenever she's pregnant and
Hmm.
her and Ross go to dinner with her dad, and her dad is just terrible.
Yes, and I don't
But
think we see Rachel's parents at the hospital when Emma's born.
no, mm-mm,
No, so for
mm-mm.
some reason, but they obviously know each other because stuff like sorry to hear your parents are getting divorced or whatever it is he says, and then yeah, there was just I forgot to write it down. There was several other times where the Gellers have said something about um, Rachel's parents. If they
Yeah.
saw them at the country club, I was playing tennis with them, things like that. But I don't think, yeah, we don't. I don't think we ever see them together.
They don't seem like people that would actually be friends with one another.
No,
Like more acquaintances.
yeah, I think they probably just run in those same, in my
Yeah.
head, the kind of country club circles,
Yeah.
um, rather than hanging out an awful lot. Um, well, let's talk about your Gunther Central Park. I don't have a feeling at all where you're going to go with this. I'm intrigued.
Do you not?
I don't think so.
No, you probably don't because I actually had a really hard time.
Yeah, this was a
I
tough
had
one.
I had a really hard time because I love like the whole like Ross and Rachel thing. I do enjoy this part of it. Like this
Yes,
episode of it.
yes,
And I went back and forth and then while we were just talking, I was like, God, whenever you were talking about Rachel and how the I'm not yours to save line
hmm
probably held more than just the basic I'm not your girlfriend, but that I can take care of myself and like
right.
dang. But okay, my Gunther Central perk is Chandler because it's so daggum funny. He's kind of a jerk, but you don't wonder, like all of his feelings are out there. And it kind of hurtful, probably not the best way to have dealt with it,
Right.
but God, it was so funny.
It was so
And
funny.
at the end, genuinely happy about Ross and Rachel, and and then he thought quick, and he had the two bracelets, and then he gave it to Joey, and
Yeah,
now we're bracelet buddies.
bracelet
Like
buddies.
like yeah. So anyway, it was Chandler, just 'cause
I
that's so
like it.
funny.
I like it. Well, I feel like a cheat with this. I've got to be honest, because there's certain characters like Estelle we've discussed. She's in an episode. For me, it's hard to beat.
Yeah.
And Jack is, as we've talked about previously, is one of those characters. I love his kind of aloofness. Hey, it's somebody in my office is a lesbian. That line which we were
Yes.
talking about, like, and he's just trying to connect.
Yeah.
It's not. It's I wouldn't say it's inappropriate, but it's not. It's just it's such a parent thing to do. I think,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
he's like I say, he's doing it to connect and out of love in his heart. But I just love Jack so much. I love the way he takes care of Monica. I love his little lines about well, they're getting divorced and then he panics, or the Hawaii thing.
Yes.
Um, so he doesn't play a huge role in it, but I've got to give this one to Jack as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
he's
like
just.
that.
I just, I just think Jack's a great dad in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Um, so he will get my vote. But we're gonna sit down. We're gonna watch a video from you in high school, doing something. We're sitting around the table. We're pouring some coffee. How many cups are we having this
9.
time?
We're
9.
having 9. Yes.
Yeah, 9 is. I think that's a. I think most people. I didn't look this up. I think this has got to be a favorite episode of many people.
I would
Certainly in
think
this
so.
phase, yeah, it's to me again, it's just got strong storylines in the plural and not just one thing going on. Um, and it just finishes well. So
Yeah.
I'm coming in with 9 as well. It's exactly why I'd written down. I like this
Oh,
just as much as the two Super Bowl ones. Um, I think we're in three very strong episodes because the Super Bowl for me was split into two.
yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and actually, before that, the one with the lesbian wedding. I mean, these are strong episodes.
They really
Um,
are.
yeah, we're in a good phase of Friends right now, which is super super awesome. But before we wrap up, any other sort of final thoughts?
No, but Al, if we were gonna watch a video of you in high school, what would you be doing?
So there's only one video I know that exists. Well, two videos, and I have them both, But UK VHS tapes don't play on VHS players here, so I'd have to pay to get it converted, which I've just never done. But I have two tapes of me going on a school trip to Paris,
Oh, wow.
which sounds super exotic and exciting, and it was. But it's like 20 hours on a bus, so
Yeah.
it's not like we flew and this and the other. But so it's just a long trip on a bus, and one of the teachers had the video camera, and we went to Disneyland Paris and to the Eiffel Tower and
How
the
cool.
Palace of Versailles and all of that. So I
Yeah.
have the two videos of that from the mid 90s. I think
Okay.
I think 95 and 96. I think. Um, so those are the only two videos. I did played a lot of music in high school, so there might be some videos of that knocking around somewhere. But I know for a
Yeah,
fact
yeah.
you would see me with my oversized glasses and centrally parted hair.
Nice.
Yes, rolling around the streets of Paris, probably looking awkward and weird as a teenager.
Of course, as
Yes,
all of us were, right?
exactly, exactly. It was a rite of passage for all of us,
Yes.
I think.
All
But
right.
yeah, next week it's the one where Ross and Rachel ...
Oh, and
So
this is the one. There's a song that's in that episode. Dadgummit.
is the
Yes, because we talked about it.
your guy who flirts with Phoebe for a bit.
Yeah.
Yes,
Chris Isaac.
Chris Isaac.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't know this song, so I'm looking forward to catching it on my
Yeah, you
rewatch.
do.
Yes,
Everybody does. You'll
indeed.
know it.
All
Mhm.
right. Well, awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to next week. But on that note, thank you everybody for tuning in to the Purple Door podcast.